Mine is on.
Mine is on.
Check.
Come on,
Check.
Wednesday.
Good evening and welcome to the Wednesday, May 14th, 2025 Planning Commission regular meeting. May I have a roll call, please?
Daryl, or here.
Michael here.
Lynn here.
Amanda here.
Eric here.
Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. So we need a motion for approval of the regular agenda. Madison, are there any? Nothing?
I make a motion we adopt the agenda as presented.
May I have a second?
I second.
Motion by Daryl, second by Michael, all in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
Next, we have approval of the minutes of the April 28th, 2025 meeting. Is there anybody who has any corrections or changes they'd like?
I have a correction.
I do too, but I'll follow Mike.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a correction on 491 Main Street, number 4, that these, in regards to the clear vision, number 3, I'm sorry, shows the clear vision on the corners. The motion was the clear vision on the corners is shown on the drawings, and this says it's respected. So I just wanted to make a note to make sure that we have that match the motion, as well as I also just wanted to, on a different note in regards to that, the people were very nice who came in. We missed you, Scott, but I was up talking with them on the screen, and in regards to clear vision and stuff like that. And I think his son's graduating college or something this week, but I know that he's coming back at our next meeting. So maybe, I'm sure you'll have conversations with him anyway, so maybe we can just reach out and, just remind him to preferably delineate it for the next meeting.
Anybody else, Daryl?
Thank you.
Yes, in reference to the same place, 491 Main Street, the correct discrepancies on those pages 75, 76, and 81. I feel that maybe it should be a little bit more detail in the body of the, not so much the motion, but in the discussion as to explaining what we mean by the discrepancies, like the square footages.
Yep.
It starts with the lot to square footage.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And going from that, once that's straightened out, then your percentage of snow coverage, pervious coverage, and impervious coverage may have to be. I know the snow coverage has to be adjusted. So that's why we have to get the lot square footage correct. And he said that the survey said 4,081. Oh, 4,001. 4801, that's what it was, 4801. And then
But
there were the other two in there, so.
But then he's also, because it's raw, it's different, his is differing from Eagle County.
No, Eagle County, the surveyor marked it, and they checked in with Eagle County and they said it's 4801. The one we got somehow from Eagle County was different, right?
Yeah,
It was
exactly.
49 something.
But what's
49.
posted on Eagle County needs to be, Eagle County is the gospel, that's to me, what it should be.
And I think his works either way. I just think that
Yeah.
the numbers all have to match.
The numbers all have to match.
Now we're debating a file that has already been preliminarily approved. So the corrections on the minutes has been taken. I will add that information in
Good
there,
point, Madison.
but rehashing discussion from last meeting does nobody any.
It'll all match one
Okay.
way or another.
All right.
That's what we need. So that when it goes to council, there's no question.
Excellent.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. So may I ask for a motion to approval of the minutes with the suggested one adjustment?
I make a motion
2
to
adjustments.
approve the minutes of April 28th, 2025 with 2 adjustments made by Michael and Daryl.
I'll second it.
Second, motion by Amanda, second by Daryl. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next, we have declaration of conflicts of interest. Does anybody have any on tonight?
I would like to have it noted in record that my address is 414 Eagle Street. I sit adjacent to 25 Harrison, the Myers Barn. This is not a conflict of interest. I've had no conversations about what's in the package, but I just want to make sure that it's noted.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. Public comment. Is there anybody in the audience tonight who has anything to say on something that is not included in tonight's meeting? Zoom?
Let me check. I have no raised hands.
We will close public comment. Thank you. Special presentations, we have none. Design review and land use public hearings. We're starting with 0010 Abbey Road.
So this is a 4-bedroom, 2,866 square foot single family building located at 10 Abbey Road within Belden Place. Much like all of the others, it is 3-story with a basement. The building height is measured via their weighted calculation to 25 feet, 11 3/4 inches, which is under the allowed 28 feet. There are 4 off-street spaces, 2 in the garage, 2 in front. This proposal respects all setbacks, lot and impervious coverage limitations, as well as snow storage requirements, and therefore staff recommends approval of the project.
Does anybody have anything? Daryl?
Yes, I had a question on the driveway. How long is the driveway there? I couldn't read it. There's a figure there, but it's so small, even my magnifying glass.
Norm, the architect, is online if he has that number right off the bat. Otherwise, I can pull up the plans.
I apologize. I do not have that directly off the bat, but I believe that it was 20 feet, but I can pull that to check for you as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just wondering, because we say 2 cars parking on in front of the garage. And I was just wondering, you know, how long that would be if a car is, say, 18 foot.
Our,
20, I can get that.
our parking regulations are 9 by 18.
They are.
So they have 2 extra feet.
Okay.
Even,
So it looks like the long portion of the drive strips that actually go into the garage, that is, I mean, it's kind of slanted, so it's kind of hard for me to give you a number, but that looks like it's about 24 feet. And then the short one with the extra parking, that is about 20 feet.
Okay.
and then there's grass, snow storage in between the 2
Yes.
parking spaces.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Michael?
I don't have any questions at this time.
Amanda?
I do not have any questions at this time.
Eric? Jessica's not here tonight. You're on call.
Seems to meet all the regulations. I have no questions.
I have a question.
Okay.
On page 15 of the packet, Intermountain Engineering's letter, I noticed that in the letter dated 4/22/25, which was last month, under development restrictions, that it reads that according to the covenant dated August 16th, 2024, lots 18, 19, and 20 Belden cannot be developed until all approvals for the US 24 storm sewer crossing are granted by CDOT and the town of Minturn. Has this been resolved?
They are actively working on it. The town attorney is working with the Forest Service, I believe the Eagle Valley Land Trust, and CDOT to finalize the crossing. So they will not be granted any building permit until that's happened. That's part of it, the SIA. However, that does not preclude their design review board application.
Okay, but would it be okay for us to add that to conditions tonight?
You certainly can. It's already a condition as part of their PUD, but if you would like to reiterate that, that's certainly within your purview.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. Other than that, I haven't, and that relates to all 3 of them,
It
so
does.
it just covers it. Thank you so much. Okay, with that, does anybody have a motion?
I make a motion.
Please open public comment.
Oh, I'm sorry. We'll open public comment. Anybody out there? No?
No raised hands online.
We'll close public comment.
Go ahead, Amanda.
I was gonna make a motion to approve 0010 Abbey Road as it complies with our code, however, adding a condition on that approval that the noted Forest Service, I know, development restriction is resolved prior to building permit being issued.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Go ahead, Daryl.
I'll second it.
Motion by Amanda, second by Daryl. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
I think that's it.
Next, we have 0012 Abbey Road.
So this is identical to the one that y'all just reviewed, same square footage, same building height. It's on a slightly smaller lot, I believe, but still respects all setbacks, snow storage, etc. So staff recommends approval, obviously with the updated condition that y'all have just discussed.
May I have a motion, please? Unless somebody has a question. Wait, I guess, Daryl,
No.
Michael?
No, the only thing I have to say is looking at it, the condition that Amanda made on the other ones, apparently the three in front of us tonight are all the same.
Right.
Yes.
They're all the same, so I like the added condition. So that's all I have to say.
I have no questions on this one. I do want to compliment though the architect, I know he's on, or whoever the building, because I like to see all the differences. They look really nice and not so monotone, so.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. And I know we don't select paint, but I do appreciate it.
Public comment? We did?
We have not.
Public comment is open.
Okay.
Anybody?
No worries, stands.
Public comment is closed. May I have a motion, please?
Make the motion to approve the final plans for 0010 Abbey Road.
One, two.
1, 2.
We're on the next one. 0012.
0012 Abbey Road, I'm sorry, with the additional condition that land use covenant dated August 16th, 2024 be resolved prior to building permit being issued.
I'll second.
Motion by Michael, second by Daryl. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Eric, aye.
Huh?
Did you look at me? Sorry. Eric, aye. Or yes?
Amanda, I.
Lynn, aye.
Michael, aye.
Daryl, aye.
Okay. Thank you. Next, we have 0014 Abbey Road. Same Madison?
Actually, no, slightly different. So this is 3 bedrooms, but 3,462 square feet. I think this might be one of the largest y'all have processed so far in Belden. It is measured to the measured via their weighted height calculation to 27 feet 1 13/16 inches. It has 4 off-street spaces, which is 2 more than they technically need to provide. 2 of them are in the garage, 2 at surface in front of the garage. The proposal respects all setbacks, lot and impervious coverage limitations, and snow storage requirements. Staff recommends approval of the project with the additional added condition of development.
Thank you. Anybody on here have anything?
I have a question. In reference to the floor plan, the basement, is that designated as an apartment, or it looks like it has a area for a kitchen, a mini kitchen?
Let me pull that up real quick.
Is it a kitchen or a wet bar?
More so a wet bar, if I'm okay to speak about it.
Oh,
It is
okay.
currently not designated as an apartment area. It's just kind of additional living with storage.
So that sink, you're saying then that's just a wet bar?
Correct.
What is included in a wet bar?
Typically a sink and a fridge.
I know what that is then. You don't have a house that does that, or I know of a house that does that.
Does, Lynn, does that designate anything towards an apartment or?
I don't think so. I think you have to have a stove and refrigerator. Yeah, you'd have to come through to get that put in though.
Typically, a dwelling unit is defined as having a kitchen, which is usually 220 or a gas stove hookup.
Okay,
That's usually the fine line between a dwelling unit and something other than a
okay,
dwelling
no,
unit.
this doesn't have a stove in it, so,
Right.
okay, thank you.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I'd like to comment on something, not specific, but just in regards in general to, you know, Jeff and Intermountain Engineering and staff, that the reports from Intermountain Engineering with the scratched out and the red and the final and it really, because I know that I personally said we had a lot of outstanding stuff in the past, and it's really nice to see that what his original question was, and now it's shown as being resolved, and you guys participate in that as well. So I thank everybody for that. And that's all I got on that.
Public comment, anybody? Nobody here? Madison, anybody on Zoom?
No raised hands on Zoom.
We will close public comment. With that, anybody have a motion?
I make a motion to approve 0014 as it generally complies with the code. 0014 Abbey Road as it generally complies with the road with the condition.
Added conditions, okay. May I have a second, please?
A second.
Motion by Amanda, second by Eric. May I have a roll call vote?
Eric, aye.
Amanda, I.
Lynn, aye.
Michael, I,
Bill, I,
Thank you.
Andy, you had, Amanda, you had the same thing.
Same condition.
Yeah.
Thank you, Norm.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Norm.
Thanks, Norm. Final plan review for addition to a single-family residence, 1018 Mountain Drive.
So this is a roughly 1,700 square foot addition to an already existing single-family home. It's primarily a garage with some added living area above it. The building plans show that it's measured to 27 feet 2.5 inches to the midpoint of the roof, which is under the allowable 28 feet within the Southtown Residential Zone District. Parking is fine with 4 off-street spaces, 2 at the garage, 2 in front. This proposal respects all lot and impervious coverage limitations, snow storage requirements, and all setbacks pertaining to this addition, with the caveat, as I'm sure you noted within the staff report, that a portion of the existing structure to the, sorry, I have to orient myself, to the east is within the setback. But that portion of the building is not being touched and therefore should not pertain to this application. So, yes, staff is recommending approval. And I believe the owners and the design team are here if you have any questions.
okay. I did have a question in reference to the landscaping. We do have a landscaping diagram. I know when we get these, it's pretty small writing. And I was just wondering how, a little more detail on what it's going at. Is it all grass covered, or is there gravel covering, or what? And you guys know how I've been wanting to emphasize that we should have non-combustible landscaping against 4 feet out from the building. But I could not tell if this has it or not.
Let's see. If that's something y'all can easily answer, I welcome you to. Otherwise, I will look through the plans real quick and try and find it.
Please state your name and address.
Matt Hanson, I'm 82 Toledo Avenue. As far as the landscaping is concerned, currently where the addition's going is all gravel and, basically no landscaping at all. And then we will do like a 3 to 4 foot of gravel around the entire perimeter of the house. And then they're just keeping all the existing trees, bushes, and grass in the front yard.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was wondering from the house out, just non-combustible, is that what you said?
So underneath the front deck, all that will be like a gravel, and then they'll have grass area in the front yard, basically.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Michael?
No, the only question I had was already answered by Madison, you know, obviously the existing encroachment is there and the new building doesn't have any additional encroachments and I think it looks good.
So I did have additional questions on that encroachment. So in the engineering report, looked like there were three kind of components of the encroachment. There was the building, encroachment, the southeast corner, then there was a front deck and stairs encroachment, and then there was an old shed that also encroached. So there were three kind of components. And I know you addressed the building, but from the pictures that were provided, I wasn't clear if they were going to be like updating the front deck to match what was going on in the addition. It just some of the, and then also that old shed. So I was hoping to either just find out whether those other two got the one that's like you can't move, can't fix, but wanted to understand the other two also.
Sure. Matt Hanson again, 82 Toledo. So the shed is actually not their property. It's on their property, but it's not theirs. Is that correct?
Correct, it is it belongs to Kemp Mooney, who owns that entire lot from Highway 6 all the way back to the US Forest Service. That is his shed.
So it's his shed that is on their property currently. And, you know, I think you'd probably have to engage with him to get it removed or whatever the case may be. And then as far as the deck's concerned, the deck to the, I guess would be the west, encroaches on the setback, and we're not gonna do anything with that. But the deck on the front of the house, we're just adding, basically maneuvering the stairs over a little bit to get a better entrance into them.
Can you show that? Because it specifically calls out the front deck encroachment. Could you just show that maybe and pull that up in?
Sure.
Thanks.
We're also making the front deck smaller. We're cutting it in half about.
And the only reason why I'm asking is because our last meeting, we had a lot of discussion about encroachments. And we made it kind of.
Well, the encroachment isn't into the town right of way, so they
No,
would,
no,
they
I
would
know
not
that.
need.
I know that, yeah, it's on the plat.
So the question here, basically what we're trying to clarify is
Like on
the
the-
new deck or the stairs, is that a
Is that
new
gonna keep the-
encroachment?
Yeah, or is it gonna keep the current encroachment because they're going to be updating that deck? Like, I just wanna
Makes
clarify.
sense.
So this is the front deck. Currently, it's like to here. And we're gonna cut it back to here. And then the stairs are going this way. And this is the setback line right here.
Okay.
So there's really no encroachment here, but if you go down a little bit, this is the setback line here, where this is the existing deck that
Got
is encroaching, there to there.
Okay,
And
and that,
this is the south corner. It's like from there to there. It's, you know, maybe 4 inches or so.
and that deck that is on the encroachment, that's the deck that you're not going to do?
This is the existing, correct, that we're not
Okay.
touching anything.
Okay, or even any cosmetic to match the other decks? Okay.
Unless we can, and we will.
So, since you have that up there, I was just curious because I was looking at it. Is that you got an angle?
Yeah,
Yeah, an angle.
it's really annoying.
Yeah.
All those lots are
It
parallelogram shaped.
It makes it interesting.
Yeah, when we purchased the home, the house encroached and the realtor made very sure that we knew that the town of Minturn was extremely aware of the position of the home. And we kind of just went with it. But yeah, that triangle is
Okay.
Welcome
so much fun.
Welcome to Minturn.
Just because I need to say something, if I want to show up to these meetings, I need to opine on something.
Earn your pay.
Come on. You know, I've always got good information for you. Just as long as we're talking about encroachments, great questions. And I just wanted to make clear that with encroachments, even if they were to make cosmetic changes to that, but not expand it or increase the amount of
Then we're fine.
nonconformance, it's fine.
Okay.
And they can make normal repairs to an existing encroachment.
Okay.
So that's it.
And
That's all I
it's
got.
just because the drawing, like if you look at the drawings on like page 128, it makes that deck look the same as the rest of the building, which I'm not sure if it is today, that material and stuff, but it just, that's why I was asking.
Yeah, ideally, we'd change the railing to match the front of the house, but if we're not allowed to.
No, that's what he was just Scott was just clarifying. Awesome.
Eric,
No, looks good.
I just have one question to clarify. On the application, it says there will be 4 parking spots, but further on the design review 5, so there must be 1 existing. On page 119, it says 5.
I believe there's potentially a gravel area to where my mouse is right here. That, I mean, if any of this can accommodate a parking space.
Yeah, so this is like a big cul-de-sac back here in the back, and this is the setback here. This part is that's kind of like what they use for parking on occasion.
So there's 1 remaining with the original home, 4 new ones going in. Okay. That's what I assumed, but I just wanted to clarify it. Okay, we'll open for public comment. Anybody? Would the owners like to speak? No? Welcome.
I have one raised hand online.
1 raised hand. Okay.
Hello?
Hi.
Oh, hi. Tracy Anderson, 1016 Mountain Drive. Hi, everybody. I'm the neighbor, and I know we have those weird diagonals that define our properties, which, yes, they're very strange. I was wondering what the side setback is going to be for the, how do I say this? As you go south, since it is on a diagonal. And I think it was 10 feet, but it's not going to be 10 feet consistently due to that. So could you tell me what it would be at the far end of the structure, the edge on the side?
So at the narrowest point, on the farthest end of the addition, it is 10 feet. So on the widest part, as the lot line goes away from the structure, it looks like it's roughly 25 feet.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. Thank you for explaining that to me. Appreciate it.
Anything else, Tracy?
Not on that. No, thanks. Appreciate it, you guys.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Nope.
Okay, with that, may I take a motion, please?
I make a motion to approve 1018 Mountain Drive as it generally complies with our code.
May I have a second?
I second.
Motion by Amanda, second by Michael. Roll call vote, please.
Eric, aye.
Amanda, aye.
Lynn, aye.
Michael, aye.
Zero line.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Get to work.
I have a garage to put the stroller in.
And thank you for saving the original building.
It looks nice. It's gonna look great.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
We're very excited.
Thank you.
I love the garage door. It's awesome.
Okay, next, 801 Cemetery Road, Myers Barn relocation to Little Beach Park.
Staff requests continuance to the next meeting as additional information arrived an hour before the meeting from the interim town manager. And in efforts to make sure everybody is informed, has all of the information, read all of it, we ask that it be continued to the next meeting.
Anybody have any issue with that?
No problem.
No? May I have a motion, please?
You go.
I have a motion to delay the approval of 801 Cemetery
Just
Road.
to continue the review.
Application for 801 Cemetery Road, the Myers Barn relocation to Little Beach Park
To May 28th.
to May 20th.
Thank you.
May 20th or May 28th?
May 28th.
May 28th.
So I do have a question though on notice, because it only was noticed at the Little Beach Park. It wasn't noticed at the demolition site.
Right, because that's where the actual application site is.
Okay, because I just didn't know, like, yeah. I live next door.
This is the first relocation we've ever done, or at least that it's ever done while I'm here, so while I'm trying to follow the code, sometimes things are,
I mean, we get people taking pictures in front of it now.
that's good, that's awesome.
Yeah, I just have one question as well.
Okay, I have a motion, nobody's made a
Ho, ho,
second.
ho, ho.
Oh, I second the motion.
Thank you.
Okay,
Further discussion?
I was going to do the second.
Wait. Further, no, the only.
Let's start. Motion by Eric,
Yeah.
second by Amanda. Does anybody have any further discussion?
I can ask the question after.
Your question is suitable. We can continue with the motion.
Correct.
Darrell, is yours?
My question is, not a question, is thanks, Madison. It's good to have all the information more than an hour ahead of time.
We appreciate it.
Mhm.
I'm sure it might cause a few issues, but it'll get taken care of. And with that, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Darrell, aye.
Michael, I.
Lynn, aye.
Amanda, I.
Eric, aye.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Now I have a question. Is it okay?
Is it on this?
Yeah.
Okay.
It didn't matter before.
Is it
Anyway,
relevant to the application, so therefore it should be heard at the next meeting?
I was just wondering if the only thing we're looking at in this application is taking this down, not something new going in.
That's correct. Nothing
Correct.
new is being proposed at 25 Harrison at this time. I will say I do have an active application for that, but that will not be heard at the same time as the relocation.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Discussion and direction items?
None.
None, none, none. Staff report, planning director's report. Scott, you can.
Come
turn your
on,
page.
Scott. Wait.
Can I talk now?
Yeah, go ahead.
You should have a 30.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Congrats.
Bye.
Thank you.
Good night.
Have a good night.
As we've done in the past, this is the same update memo that was presented to council last week. And I had great pleasure in opening my presentation by saying, as you can see from my memo, we have a bunch of green completes and after several articles of our new code. So that's, for me, really exciting. Hopefully Madison is somewhat excited. Council, I think, was pleased to hear that we are moving along, because they haven't seen nor heard much on that project. The mayor has asked me a few times in the last month, hey, how are we doing? But we're making progress. And the follow-up to that is, as I put in this memo, as you know, Matt and Madison and I continue to meet for several hours each week, working really hard to get ready for the next segment, which is having some open houses with the public in June. We're going to start, I think we already did put out a notice with the door hangers. So everybody in town is going to get door hangers as part of that packet of information. They're going to see stuff about the zoning. The zoning discussions coming their way. We're going to have open houses in June. So we are working really hard to work through all of the existing zone districts, all the existing uses by right in all of our existing zoning, all the new proposed zone districts and all the new table of uses for each one of those zone districts, all the new dimensional limitations, setbacks, heights, all those things. And being able in a open house setting and online on the town's website to be able to graphically and in writing explain to people, this is what you have now if you live in this neighborhood. This is your existing zoning, these are your existing uses. These are proposed changes. In some cases, it won't be that dramatic. In other cases, there'll be some significant changes. But being able to communicate those. So, as we started this process, we said this is going to be one of the components of a new land use code that is obviously going to be of most interest to property owners and residents of this town. and that we would go out of our way to make sure that this particular part of the process, if we've been transparent and, you know, inclusive, this is where we need to kind of slow down to make sure that people have ample opportunity to understand some of the changes that are being proposed. Come to open houses, talk to us. After those open houses in June, I think we're looking at least a month to give people time to digest some of those things, request meetings with staff if they want, call us, ask more questions. So we're really, we're not trying to slow down just to slow down. We want to make sure that this, because this is the most impactful thing, I think, for most people, right? So that's what we've been working on. We are at a point where, as of this afternoon, after we got off our last meeting with Matt, he, I think, has enough information where he's going to start building essentially presentation boards that are going to go around this room, where we're going to have hopefully something that's pretty easy to understand. This is your existing, if you're in this zone district, here's your existing uses. Here's what they might change to, and be able to highlight some of the more significant changes. And also highlight if there's a particular detail, like today we got into a 45-minute discussion about a particular dimensional limitation, lot coverage to maximums in an existing zone district, how that's going to look in a new zone district, and the fact that things in certain zone districts, we still might want to bring back and have a work session with you and the town council, because we may have received direction from the Planning Commission 5 years ago on certain changes that you were looking at. Those now conflict with the recommendations from the community plan from 2 years ago. And so there's a couple of those instances where we're going to kind of highlight those, pull them off to the side and say to you and the public and everybody else, these are yet to be determined. We don't have enough direction as staff to really make a firm recommendation. So, am I missing anything? I think that's,
Do you have dates for those meetings yet?
June
9th, June 19th, and June 24th. From 4 to 7 here.
4 to 7 o'clock in this room, the 9th, 19th, and 20th.
9th, 19th, and
4th. We, at Matt's suggestion, we staggered those so they weren't all on a Thursday night. So if people can make a Monday night one, they can make a Monday night one, or a Tuesday or a Thursday.
When those people come, will all those things be here, or just specific areas?
All those things will be here.
So basically what you were explaining, basically put it all together, what is being thought of, put it out for the public, let the public come in and check it out, and then P&Z and council, and after all the input, we'll have discussions about it from there.
Yeah.
So, and that being said, since you brought it up, because I've been keeping my one poster for about 5 months.
Oh.
One of those things to discuss later, like you and I, not tonight, but you and I can get together and look at Madison or whatever, or look at what's existing. But when we were talking before about it's always about roofs with me, you know, mostly. And when we were talking about how we're taking measurements, and we had that meeting, and at that meeting I said, at some point, I'd like to review that with council, and because that's changed over the years, and for example, midpoint was measured from the exterior wall to the ridge, not including any of the overhang, and the overhang in the past could overhang, if it was in the 5-foot setback, it was max 18 inches that it could overhang. To my understanding, and I don't know when it changed, but at some point, we'll talk about it. You can show it to be able to discuss that it's changed. I think that in regards to that, especially since we're redoing the code, regardless of what our height is, if our height's changing or increasing or whatever, I at the time of that meeting when we were talking about it, I had asked that when the time came that we could talk about it with council and just see everybody's thoughts and just have a general discussion. But, you know, just what I'm explaining is because of the fact in general that if your overhang increases and you're not on your side setback, and your overhang increases and you're not taking it from the exterior wall to the ridge, and you have monster overhangs, technically you have more height. So, and in the past for a gazillion years, it was from the exterior wall. We sort of have the same drawings, but anyway, we don't have to go over it completely now. But I just want to let you know what I'm thinking to discuss when it changed and the pros and cons of going back to that, as well as on an additional note in regards to roofs. I think that we should consider requiring snow retention over walkways, stuff like that. I also think that even with our clear vision discussions, clear visions, you know, public safety, we want to make sure that that doesn't get missed moving over.
Okay.
And last but not least, and just general conversation with council, you know, parking's tough. And me personally, I think if you build a house and you have 4 bedrooms, you should have 4 spots. But it's just general conversation, like general chit chat. The height stuff, you and I, like I said, we can all look at that. We can look at that off book together and decide if we can all discuss that at some point.
Okay.
Those things.
So all of those are
reasonable.
All of those are reasonable things that we should talk about. I'm going to disappoint you again that when we talk about zoning, we're not going to talk about how we measure roof height. We will talk about height maximums in different zone districts, but the way we address roof height calculation comes in our definition section.
And have we gotten to that yet?
We will get to that at the very end.
No problem. I have no, whenever that is.
Yep.
Whenever that,
The reason why, Michael, is because as we start getting into uses, you know, uses in a use table, you in residential zone district 1 can have all these uses. Right now, our definitions don't capture all of the uses. Our definitions don't do a great job in some respects of being very clear or understanding about building height calculation or setback stuff. It's a mess, and we know that. And we've already done a lot of work on clearing up definitions, building height calculations, all that stuff 4 or 5 years ago. But so the reason why we're waiting till the end is because everything that we're doing now with regard to zoning, everything we're going to do with regard to any changes to landscaping or anything else are going to produce either the need for new definitions that need to be added to our definition section, or we are going to discuss as a group like, hey, this doesn't have a definition, so let's add it or let's make it more clear. And we're going to do that at the absolute end, so we can do all the work and then clear everything up and have a great set of definitions.
and that makes sense. And the only reason that like I said, like height calculations requiring snow retention over walkways, Vail did it forever. For some reason they pulled it, which was a completely stupid thing because you don't want someone to get bonked in the head. You know, just that and making sure like some of this other stuff gets transferred over, the important stuff with public safety, whenever that is like I said, I don't know when that is, so that's why I brought it up tonight. Because I was like, well, hopefully I didn't miss that. That didn't apply to that section. And I understand exactly what you're saying because as Jeff puts it, now's the time to get into the hard stuff.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it. And, you know,
so cool.
Yep.
Thank you.
Madison, and this is personal, I will be fine in June. And then Scott, at those meetings, I can be at any of them.
Okay.
You said then we would be taking a month off?
Not from planning commission.
Not from,
No, but I mean, with that process.
Well, we may, in that interim period, while people are digesting any changes to their zoning or allowed uses, we'll be bringing other articles to you. We have other work to do.
But that's on our regular meetings.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have two things I have to deal with this summer. June, I'm fine. One is I am going home for a week, the first time in 7 years. So I will give you those dates because I want to be here for this. And if there's any way you can make that happen, that would be great. And then there's another time in August that depending on what day of the week you hold the meeting, I may not be able. I will be here, but I have to take 2 days off in a row to do what I need to do. So
Okay.
I'll give you those, and if that helps any. I mean, I don't mean to doing it
All
just
about
for.
Lynn.
I know. But everybody else goes places and I never do. And
You should go places.
well, the reason I'm going at the end of July is because it's like a fifth week there. And I don't miss any meetings. I don't miss any council meetings. I don't miss any P&Z meetings. I don't miss a historical meeting. So that was why I squeezed it in there. So I'll give you those dates.
Good
Thank you
planning.
for listening.
Couple other things, the Highlands parcels. The direction I received from council and from our town attorney was kind of twofold. They heard from, this is a month and a half ago, they heard from Eagle County Open Space and Jessica Fowlis from Eagle Valley Land Trust, our executive director there. They both presented to the council about what they do with regard to open space purchases or how they bring potential buyers to the table. The council said after those presentations that they wanted to hear again from Jessica. So I'm trying to find a date for Jessica Fowlis to come back, probably in a work session format, to council to talk to them about how she works with or finds buyers who are interested in buying conservation lands, and what types of deals they might be able to help craft. I am also working with Devin Duval from CPW. He is trying to pull together a meeting with myself, Mike, our attorney, Eagle County Open Space, and Jessica to talk about options for purchasing and funding and where we might be able to find sources of funding before the town moves forward on creating a zone district. So part of the other direction from council and from Mike was before we do anything, before we sell the property to anybody, the property needs to be zoned. And I won't go into specifics. You've got the packet, Lynn, you attended the meeting, but usually if a private buyer is looking to purchase a property for sometimes millions of dollars, with good intent to preserve most or all of it, they need to get tax benefit from that. And the only way they do that is from scrubbing development rights from that parcel. So they're taking a loss, so to speak, and they can claim that on their tax benefits, which they get for several years. And that might also include cash payment for purchase of the property. So they get two benefits. But usually you have to have some established zoning and development rights to be able to realize that. So before we do that, Devin has asked that we at least talk amongst ourselves to find out if we even need to go to that point, or if there's a possibility that the county or some other entity or a group of entities could come and purchase those parcels without having to zone them. So I've agreed to entertain that meeting, and that's probably going to happen in a couple weeks. I just met with him yesterday, and so there's a lot going on with the Highlands. Obviously, the council and the mayor are very interested in me either getting going on the zoning so we can move ahead on other conversations and try to find a buyer for those. But we're going to put the brakes on that just for a little bit until we can have this meeting, and Mike can weigh in as the town attorney and how he sees this as a council priority. And so I hope that makes sense. But just to let you know, there's a lot going on behind the scenes with that.
I think that we talked about that a little bit before, and I think, ideally, of course, we'd like to not have to zone anything. We'd like somebody to love the land, donate some dough, and
Right.
call it good, and of course they should get as many tax benefits as they can get if they're doing that for us.
Right.
And I also know the other part of it, in general, I think it was I think I asked a question a few times ago that it was explained to me in regards to why it might need to be zoned, you know, for the reasons that you said.
Yeah.
On a different note, that the good thing is it hasn't become in front of us yet. So I'm pretty sure we've talked about it. I don't know what answer you can give me, potentially, maybe not much. But rumor has it if Malloy Park doesn't build housing and stuff for the school district, that they can sell that off privately.
I'll cut you off right there. We do have a live application from the school district, and it will be coming to you shortly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
That's quite
wouldn't
right.
have brought it up if I knew that. I thought we hadn't had anything.
No, we do have a live, and in fact, that's in my report. I was just going to talk about that if I can move on from the Highlands, unless you have any other questions on that.
Thank you.
Yep. So we've been reviewing the Eagle County School District application for Malloy Park for over a year. We are still working through the referral process. So the school district received comments from Colorado Parks and Wildlife, CDOT, other agencies, other town departments several months ago. They have recently responded to those. This is, I think, the second round of referral comments. So we're working through their responses. I'm hopeful for their sake and for ours that we can wrap that up and start looking at hearing dates probably in, I would say, July, but that's my best guess. So that's coming your way, and that's a preliminary plan for subdivision. So it is very much a live application, and you should not be talking to folks about it or stuff like that. And then Midtown Village PUD final plan and final plat, we have that application on our desk, and we're working through Jeff's submittal for that. As you know, that's a final plat subdivision document that's mostly going to be a pretty technical exercise for Jeff Spinell and his crew at Intermountain Engineering to review the survey work and make sure the plat contains the right information. The other part of that is the subdivision improvement agreement, which is firmly in Mike and Richard's court to review the legalese of the agreement between the town and the developer on the timing of improvements and how it's going to be paid for and all that stuff. So you will get to look at the final plat, but not the final plan or the SIA, which is a really weird, quirky thing about our code. Usually a planning commission doesn't look at final plats. That's usually a board of county commissioners or a council thing. But anyway, so we'll bring that to you when it's ready.
And that's on Midtown?
Midtown, yep.
And I have a raised hand if you would like to entertain them.
Do we know?
I guess so. So we'll open public comment to a raised hand.
Hi, Tracy Anderson, 1016 Mountain Drive. Thank you for taking my comment. It's not really a comment. I know you sort of indicated, Scott, that you can't talk too much about the Malloy Park, but I'm a bit concerned because it appears to me that the ballot initiative, the 1B that public voted on, they've changed it, and that to me poses some legal issues. I don't know if you can speak to that or not, but I find that rather concerning.
Thank you, Tracy. I cannot speak to that. Number one, I'm not well versed apparently on 1B, but I also I guess I'm not sure what bearing that has on this application.
Well, that was
We
how
can't talk about the application in this format at this time.
I see. I'm just going to say that was the bond initiative that was voted on, and the scope in the verbiage that the voters, read appears to be different than what the district is now proposing.
Tracy, thanks for bringing that up. Perhaps Scott can look into 1B a little bit and familiarize himself with it. I don't remember it at all. Do you?
Vaguely.
It passed, but not by a great margin.
Okay, well, we'll look, we can at least try to address your concern maybe somewhere down the line, but at the moment, I don't think it's the right thing to do.
Honestly, I don't know if it's germane to the town's acceptance or review or action on a land use file. You may have a valid concern, and I'm wondering if, you know, the school district board is the right audience for that concern. As a voter. Does that make sense, Tracy? I hear what you're saying.
Yeah,
I don't know where you're going with this, but
yeah, I'm just beginning to research it all. I actually have a meeting with an attorney over it myself. So, yeah, okay, fair enough. I understand that you know, you can't, I understand that you can't address this right now, for sure. Can I just make a plea too while I'm on about something that I feel strongly about?
Does it relate to something tonight?
Yeah, just zoning.
I mean, if it doesn't, it might be better if you come into public comment next meeting.
Okay,
That would be great. Thank you.
okay. Thank you.
Good night. Managers report, are you done, Scott? I'm sorry.
I'm all done.
You're all done?
Yep.
Okay, managers report. Jay Runbon, does anybody have any questions on any of that?
The only question I had in, I don't know if you guys know, it looked like they were going back out for, hey Jay.
We're talking about you. You knew.
Wow. Like your ears just burst in fun.
Run.
Asking questions on your manager's report. Run. So it looked like there was like, if we were going back out to bid for the phase 2 of the sidewalks. Is that wow? That red is that red right or?
So you're kind of looking over here. Are you talking to me?
Yeah, because it's in your report.
Please say your
Jay's,
name
or
and
was it?
address.
Now I need to hear what you said.
So in your report, it references the phase 2 of our sidewalk additions that goes down, and it references that there were. It looks like it was going back. It's like red that it was going back out to bid, and I just want clarification that.
I think that is actually in Katie Sickles' manager.
Oh, sorry. Never mind. You're off the hook. Bye.
We did go back out to bid.
Okay, Jay, go back out to bid.
Because it came in too high, and so they rescoped it, and the bid said you can't. The state said you can't rebid it. You can't rescope it. You have to rebid it.
Got it. Okay, thank you for that clarification. Thanks. That's it.
Good night, Jay.
Katie.
Hey, Jay.
Would like any clarification.
No, thank you.
Okay, Jay answered it. Awesome. No.
No.
Go
Good night.
home, go home, Jay.
Run. Have a good night, Jay.
You got too many hours today.
Okay, is anybody else on anything on Jay's report? No. Manager's report, Katie Sickles, anybody? 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 Hi, Katie, thank you for coming and joining Zoom. We appreciate that you're there, but you're safe.
Okay, he's on Zoom, that's good. I missed her sitting over there.
Planning Department update.
So this is kind of a bizarre one. I fully recognize that. Typically, things that we classify as sheds are staff approved. This is a little large to be considered a shed, but it is going on town property in partnership with an organization that we partner with often, and they would like to get started. So given that there is nothing else on the property except for a pergola and a bike park, there's no risk of them going up against lot coverage and impervious coverage limitations. They're nowhere near a setback. So staff kind of preliminarily approved it while letting them know that I would be bringing this to y'all for y'all to kind of like ratify that approval. Kind of like consent agenda on council, except we don't really have that set up. But I just wanted to be fully transparent.
Is this a permanent thing? Mm-hmm. It is.
Yeah.
It's kind of, are they going to do something similar with the bathrooms out there?
I have no clue what their plan is for the bathrooms.
Okay, it would be nice. a little small.
Then you have the bathrooms under ours or this,
It's the same thing as the bike park. It's
MTA.
just for their equipment out the bike park.
oh, I know, but I'm like, who's
Yeah,
doing the
there it
bathrooms?
is.
We're talking about doing bathrooms.
No one's doing bathrooms.
Nobody.
We're doing shed right now. I was saying like, I like the shed, it cleans up the property.
Is it a, one of those containers that just comes in, like a pre-built shed that goes up,
Oh, it's like a storage.
like a storage container?
Does it kind of look like a shipping container?
Uh-huh. Yeah, one of those long metal things. Do you have the sizes on it, the size on it easily in front of you?
It is 320 square feet. That comes out to, I had it. It's 40 feet long by 10 feet wide, I believe, something like that, or 9.5 feet wide. I wish Sammy was on here.
Just think about back when somebody dropped off.
I know what it looks like.
Is it?
I don't think it just seems big.
They need some.
They need something. But is it, but it's a shed, it's not a shipping container.
I think it's a shed.
It's a shipping container,
It's a shipping container.
Massive.
360 square foot.
Can we paint a brand or
No,
something?
there's this great, I'm not kidding, there's a great graffiti artist at Avanti Tattoo who, and he did,
I think that
he
would be-
models his, graffiti is actually models in Santa Fe, like, art museum.
I think it'd
He's
be,
that good. He's
That-
amazing.
that's a really good idea.
I think, that's what I would suggest, so it doesn't look like just a shipping
Yeah,
container.
no, and he, I mean, he used to paint all the trains down in Santa Fe, and they've been made as models in the Santa Fe Art Museum. Because he said that good.
Viking, whatever they want, spray it on there.
So that would be something that
He loves
we could
it.
look into.
You're also
So.
Avanti Tattoo.
I don't think anybody has a major problem with the shipping container, but they'd like it to look a little bit more
I can
creative.
suggest to Sammy that it be painted.
I can put him in touch with Petra.
Sure. Give me the information, I'll pass it along.
Yeah, I think,
Okay.
Thank you, Amanda. Yeah, good idea.
great idea. Looks super cool.
It would look really good.
Yeah.
Anything else? On planning commission update. Planning commission comments, anybody? Michael? No?
No, I apologize for missing the one page where I asked the question on.
I have nothing. Amanda?
I have nothing.
Eric? So our next meeting is May 28th. We now have two things on there, the continuation of the barn and the continuation of 991,
491.
491 Main Street. And do we know,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, is Matt bringing anything in then?
No.
I don't think so. Forgot to mention that with any luck, I'll know by tomorrow, we keep putting off this presentation by the regional housing group that put together the housing needs analysis. The report is done. They've been trying to get in front of town councils to present the final conclusions of that report. We're slating that for next week on the 21st. I'm hopeful that they get us the stuff for the packet by tomorrow so we can keep them on the agenda. But if anyone's interested, that'll certainly be disseminated to you. Either I can get you the final report and we can have them, I don't know if we can have them come present to the planning commission, but I would encourage you to tune in to council meeting and just listen to that.
So it won't be a work session, it'll be at council meeting?
Yeah, it'll be a presentation. They'll have a 20 or 30 slide presentation to go through the findings of their needs analysis and recommendations, so. Shocker, we need housing, just like always.
We need infrastructure.
We need lots, so.
Yeah.
We need a water plant.
We being the county,
We need a
the
bridge.
valley.
But the county also needs infrastructure too, I mean.
Well, and then I hear
Everett
things
these
out
days
that
is
there's a
like-
bunch of housing down in Eagle and nobody's renting them, so I don't know. Maybe it's because it's so far away. So, suggestion to watch the May 21st council meeting regarding housing. Our next meeting is the 28th. There are two things on there that we know of. Perhaps something else will pop up. because you have some open things.
There will be 3 more DRB applications on
3 more DRBs. Is everybody here for that?
28, yes.
Yep, and I believe Jeff is back then too.
Should be. Or at least he's not told me he won't.
The next meeting is June 11th. Anybody? All here? Okay. And then we have 3 open houses regarding zoning on the 9th, the 19th, and the 24th. Everybody got that written down? And you're all invited to come to them all or whatever you can make. Please at least appear at one, see what it's all about.
Probably.
I love Amanda's.
9th, 19th, and
24th.
24th.
Okay?
Yeah.
With that, may I have a motion, please?
make a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting of May 14th, 2025.
My second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.
On those presentations,
Thank you.
we're on the radio, right? On those presentations.